G'day everyone, welcome to another episode of the GiddyUp podcast. My name is JT and as usual I'm joined by Mr. Donny Elgin. How are you, Don?
Oh mate, well, I'd be lying if I said I'm cool as a cucumber and everything's going to be under control tonight, because right before we went bang to go live, I pulled out a USB and so I've got no mouse control, so it means basically the run sheet, well, it doesn't matter to me tonight.
So just another episode, mate. Well, it's funny you say that, Donny, because like on tonight's show, mate, we've got a fair bit to talk about because I know there's been a lot happening in the world this week. And, mate, I'm just going to kickstart it off, right? I don't even know if this is on the run sheet, but I'm just going to get straight into one of my segments, Donny, because I just want to share a couple of things, right?
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
Mate, like you, Donny, been an interesting couple of moments with tech, right? And I just wanted to say that I don't know how, mate, in 2024, when far out, we can do some pretty amazing shit in the world, right? That we just cannot get the basics right. And not only are we having... No, as in just bloody tech, mate. How many times do all of us just encounter tech issues? And, mate, heaps. And it just... Like today, I had a very, very, very important live round table. So like a webinar like this, using the same platform that we're using right now, that I use every week, very well established, works flawlessly every time. But normally know what I'm doing, right? I had the head of customer experience for Tennis Australia, right? Very senior person, talking about all things customer experience, customer service. We had a test run lined up at 8 o'clock this morning just to make sure all the tech was going beautifully because we wanted it seamless for our audience, Donny.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, I would have thought so, but no, didn't work. No, it didn't happen. Restream, right? We use Restream, so people are watching us now via Restream into Facebook. It's a global platform. A lot of people use Restream, Donny. But okay, so it turns out...
You're crack at the mob that are hosting us right now.
Yeah, I am. And can you believe it though, Donny? This just, again... So I'm like... Doesn't seem to be working. What's going on? I had my developer online. I'm like, mate, it's not working on the website. We're trying to stream it to the website. Nothing's happening. But we had 3 hours before going live. I thought, this is all good. We've plenty of time. We'll sort it. And he goes, are you sure it's not something on our website? He's like, nah, mate, the website's all good, So I'm on chat with Restream, right? And they go, no, everything looks okay on our end. Well, I'll tell you what, it ain't working on my end, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, about 10 minutes into the live chat, they come back to me and go, oh, yeah, it does look like there's a bit of an issue with our live platform restreaming and there's a global outage, sorry. But our developers are working on it at the moment. So, I've said, oh, that's great. When do you think it might just be coming online? Because I've got a fairly important thing happening in about 3 hours. Oh, we can't give you an ETA, sir. Just, we're doing the best we can. And I'm like, well... That doesn't really help me, right? So far out. So we couldn't go and push it all out on our social media channels, on LinkedIn, listening live in 2 hours. We had newsletters lined up. We had all these absolute disasters, right? It was just stuff that was supposed to be happening. Just wonder what you're doing. It was just an absolute bloody shit show. And, in the end, we couldn't actually live stream it, Donny. So it was just, it was pretty shit.
JT,
and this just...
That is not ideal, but if there's one man that's going to know if things are good or bad, it's going to be you. Now, I'm conscious that some people have given us some feedback, said sounds not good from my end. What's the story, mate? Can anyone hear me or no?
I can just hear you, as we were discussing.
Suggesting it might be the best show we've ever done. The fact that you can hear me.
I can't even see the bloody comments at the moment. That's how well we're going today.
Well,
so
that's how. Anyway, I reckon we soldier on. I'll have a bit of a play on the backside of things, and far out. That's not ideal either. Your mum's given us some feedback. It's no good.
Uh-oh.
I will persevere, my lovelies. I will find a way.
This is what Donny does. He just finds a way. That's why he was one of the best in the world as a Paralympian. It's also why he probably chose the pentathlon, because there was just so many different events. So if he stuffed one up, he had another one to catch up on, right? So we're seeing it still just play out bloody real time now. So Jesus, Donny.
What happened? Shit, sorry guys.
Oh!
Oh no, that's nasty. I'm sure. Looking at that.
On your face, so probably it's back in the hospital. Anyone who's still with us, I have to apologise. I just pulled some plugs out trying to do some fancy shit, and that's sent the viewers into meltdown.
I'm now getting comments coming through at least, but yeah.
I might just be quiet tonight. I'll work it out though. I will. Probably just not while we're live. Sorry guys, I'm going to do my best.
Talk loud. Hold that microphone up really close, Donny. See if that helps.
Is that any better?
Yes, it's a lot better.
Oh, why didn't we just do that in rehearsals? That we've never done rehearsals. Right, here we go, JT. I'm going to hold the mic here. Oh,
so all these whinging about tech issues, maybe it's just the people that the problem, Donny. It's not the tech, mate.
It's always me, JT. I'm the first person to put my hand up and go, I've got stuff already. But anyway, we'll persevere. Still can't hear me, so that's Kev. It
could be a delay, though. I can definitely hear you a little bit better, Donny, so I hope everyone else can, but I can definitely hear you a little bit better. So we'll just keep persevering. You keep playing with things. People, if you are listening and having trouble, just keep smashing them in the comments until he sorts it out, right?
Hey, I tell you what, JT, this is what I'll do. This is a real test of if people can hear me. Put your name in the comments if you'd like to go on the wheel for vodka. All of a sudden... No, there's still no names there, JT, so they can't bloody hear us, right? Mate, what have we got on the...
Well, mate, while you're trying to sort that out, because I just wanted to... I kind of just wanted to share something that happened today and get people's perspective of what they would have done in the same situation. So let me just share with you what happened today.
You bloody mongrel!
It's going well, this tonight's show, isn't it? Far out. All right, so I just wanted to share with you today, right? I think most people know I have a fish tank, right? A big reef tank with, Dory and Nemo and all that sort of stuff. It's a lot of work, right? And every week I have to go and get fresh water and salt water and all sorts of stuff. And anyway, today was that day. I was down, had to get a bit of water, and I picked up the quite heavy containers. Got a bloody sore back at the moment, so I was struggling a little bit. And anyway, got it into the car and thought, great, now I just got to go down to the supermarket and get a couple of bits and pieces for young Oscar. Needed a bit of food. And, well, when I went to get out of the car, this is what I was faced with. Now, if you can see that photo there, the container of water that I was... Yeah, it kind of leaked all over me, and it didn't leak in a good spot, it's fair to say. And so here I am just looking down going, it really looks like I've just pissed my pants. And I'm like, but I really need to get this stuff. I don't have a lot of time. I'm like, do I just walk in the supermarket and just cop it and know that people are going to be looking at me going, he's pissed his pants, have a look at him? Or do I just get back in the car and go stuff it? I'll just have to do it another time. Donnie, what would you do if you're in the same situation?
What I want to know what you bought when you went in the shops, JT. Would not hesitate. Anything goes nowadays. Straight in, I would have gone.
Straight in? Yeah, I went straight in. I thought, stuff it. I don't give a shit. I'm in a hurry. Got stuff to do. But I was like, I was just wondering if our listeners would have been in the same boat, or people just going, oh my God, I would have died of embarrassment, because it did cross my mind about just maybe I'd defer to another time. But yeah.
Oh, well, I'm glad that you did it, mate. I'm glad it just shows that there are things that happen in the world and you respond in the most positive way. You just go, stuff it.
Stuff it. Now, Donnie, lots to get through on tonight's thing. So I just wanted to share a really quick cost of living hack with everyone. We said we'd try and let people know when things are happening. Right, it's just a very, very quick one. But you remember way back when, Donnie, early in our episodes, we raised the issue of red skins, or red rippers as they're now called, and they'd stopped production, Donnie. Very hard to get. And so for those of us in the world that love their redskins, the only option that you had to get redskins is you had to buy the Chewy mix, which had Sherbies, Milkos, and redskins. And quite frankly, I hate Milkos, so I used to just throw them out. So I'd be buying these stupidly expensive Chewy mix packets and throwing them out. But just turns out, Donnie, that in big news that is surely going to impress everyone in Australia. Red Rippers are back in the shops. You can now buy bags. Now, at this stage, I have only seen them in IGA. I haven't actually seen them in Woolies or Coles, but local IGA seem to have the bags of Red Rippers. Now, they're only the short size. They're not the long sticks like you used to get. They're still like the chewy mixed size, but they are absolutely back in stock. And yes, gorgeous Nat is very happy about that. So many bags have been purchased already. But yeah, if you're after your Redskins, IGA, that's where you need to go, Donny.
JT, I like it. I've actually boycotted after they changed the name Red Rippers my ass. I'm still on the boycott. Haven't eaten a Redskin since. I did go and buy a packet before they went out. So play your cards right, brother. I've got one in storage here for, well, let's call it an investment, shall we? I'm hoping that they'll go up in price at some point. Now, JT, I've got to tell you, I'm still getting comments that I'm quiet. Can we just record all these comments because it's very
that's
rare
a bit better. That's good. What'd you do then?
Well, I just put the mic almost in my mouth. So
yeah, do that. Keep it in your bloody mouth. That seems to be a little bit better.
It will be if I chew on it. Right. Now, mate, there's a couple of things I have to touch on. First of all, next week, JT, are we here or we not?
We are. Well, based on the way tonight's going, I don't think we'll ever be back, Tony. So, no, we do need to give everyone the heads up that next week we will not be live next week. We're having a week off next week for a couple of different reasons. One is I won't be here, and neither will Don. So that's probably a good reason. So,
no, well, I'm going to try and reenact the Easter thing. What happened at Easter? They pinned the old mate to the cross.
I'm just laughing at the comments.
I'm going. Oh no! Righto, here we. Oh, God. Right. So JT, I've got to tell you what. Next week, daylight savings all over. So that's why we've got to tell people now that we're not on, because otherwise that's to be our community service announcement next week. And also, get AirPods. You know,
it's a good idea, Abby. It's a very good idea because the current setup ain't working.
No, this one's not it, but I will get it right. Hey, I've got to tell you though, the reason I don't do AirPods is because I've got hearing aids in and they Bluetooth, so I can actually hear you, but you can't hear me. So bad luck, suckers. I will get it sorted by the time we come back. A new microphone, maybe.
Very exciting. Yep.
JT, I've got a big shout out to Mel, who's recovering in hospital. She's doing some, getting some bits sorted out, getting fixed up. So big shout out to Mel. Hope you're feeling better, mate. I know there was discussions of chopping things off and coming over to my side, coming an amp, but if you can keep your bits, I'd say do it. And we wish you a speedy recovery, my friend. So good luck with that.
Absolutely. Get well soon, Mel. Nothing worse than feeling a bit ordinary. So generally hope you are feeling better in no time. This episode probably ain't going to help your recovery one little bit, but we're trying. We are trying. Now, of course, there's been some pretty big breaking news in the last couple of days, Donnie. And of course, well, it wouldn't be a GiddyUp podcast if we didn't bring all the latest stuff straight to our listeners. So let's just go into one of what has to be described as one of the most bizarre news stories so far this year.
Yep.
Now, Donnie, if anyone's been watching the news in the last couple of days, you must be living under the proverbial rock if you have not heard about a cargo ship running into the Baltimore Bridge in the USA. Donnie, for those of you that may not have seen it, of course, we've got a photo here of the aftermath of the ship that ran into basically one of the two pylons holding up the bridge. Now, this is a bridge, just think Westgate Bridge kind of size. It's a bloody big bridge that came tumbling down when this ship just ran straight into it. We don't really know exactly how many fatalities yet. The numbers keep moving around, but clearly, a couple of people didn't make it through. But Donnie, how does a cargo ship the size of that, and it's a bloody big cargo ship, how the hell does it run into a stationary? It's not like the pylon was moving around, mate. It was fixed. It's been there for 50 years. This bridge. How the hell does shit like this happen?
Well, I'll tell you what, JT, one thing that did catch my attention is they said the ship lost power. And when I watched some footage earlier, I saw that the lights go out, it changes direction, it gets its power back, it moves again. And then, by the time something that big wants to change course, it's bloody too late. You literally need plenty of room and it didn't have it, and so bang, it hits the bridge. But what got me absolutely flabbergasted was the fact that the whole bridge come down. Like it's one thing to say, it can take a knock, but clearly this thing couldn't take a knock at all. And I mean, bridges aren't meant to be hit, so hats off to the builders. But they build a bridge that gets people across it and boats underneath it. But to think that anything like this happens, and normally we see them tumble in an earthquake or something that, something of that magnitude, but to be hit and fall over, it bloody shocked me. And you know what, JT, I hadn't heard about this, and admittedly I don't watch the news, and that's why. And I spoke to my old man today, and he said, "Oh, mate, it reminded me about January 5, 1975." I'm going, what bloody happened January 5, 1975? He goes, the same thing happened in Tassie, in Hobart. A ship carrying iron ore whacked into one of the pylons, but the whole bridge didn't fall, just part of it collapsed, which, JT, in some cases is almost bloody worse, because cars literally drove over the edge. So, I mean, I don't know if there can be much worse than a whole bridge falling down into the water, but, and I read a couple of the testimonials on Wikipedia too. So if you want to check it out, 1975, just Google Hobart Bridge disaster, and honestly, there's enough information there, and it's almost deja vu for what happened, 20 hours ago in the States. So bloody scary, and hearts go out to all the people that are obviously affected by it. But also, JT, let's not forget that some of these things are massive triggers. So, if you've been in that car accident, if you've bloody ever had your car in water, or if you've, anything at all, something like this might be a trigger for you. So if that is the case, we wish you well. Talk about it. That's one of the discussions we're going to have later on, is the value and the power of having conversations. So because, as I said, the news is bloody horrifying, and sometimes the worst thing about the news is that the fact that everybody has to be first with the story before we actually know the facts. But there's no question, you can't dispute, the bloody bridge got hit, went down, and it was a horrible sight.
Indeed. All right, let's talk about, well, a bit of a local shout out, Donnie. So we haven't done one for a little while, so let's get one in. Oh, it couldn't be more apt with that little meow there at the end, Donnie. And I'll just have to pass on, Donnie, because this doesn't happen very often.
Right.
Very insightful, Donnie. Nant has said very insightful to something that you've done. Research, Donnie, which is, well, far out. Is that a flying pig going across in the background? This is bloody amazing.
You know what? Stop, press right there, freeze frame, just screenshot, do whatever you need to. That's normal, actually, just normal.
Just normal. And good on you, Buff. I hope you had a good birthday, by the way. Donnie, before we get into the local shout-out, you want to share how you celebrated Buff's birthday with any special things?
Well, JT, the celebration has hardly begun, my friend. It all takes place. We had a feed, and of course, that's always a bloody lovely thing. But the true present that I got hold of takes place Friday morning, 5:45. Up we go, hot air ballooning, JT. So I've picked Good Friday, because who wants to sleep in on a bloody public holiday? Anyway, that's what we're doing. We're going hot air ballooning, JT. That was Buff's gift. So if we're not here next week, it might be for a couple of reasons worth looking into. No, I'm not putting that out there. It's going to be
let's take that out of the universe. Where are you going, mate? Where are you doing it, if you want to share? Or lucky? Yeah. Ask a stupid question and get a stupid answer. What part of the world, Donnie, are you going to do hot air ballooning in?
Hopefully we're going over Melbourne City, mate. So not the Yarra Ranges or anywhere like that. We're going up, and I'm probably expecting to see a few people either, I don't know, Jerilderie or Hobart or South Australia. I don't know where we'll bloody end up. The weather gods will determine that. But and we've got a champagne breakfast after it, and so I'm looking forward to going up. And if it doesn't go well, getting shit-faced at the end of it, JT, to forget it.
So I'm sure it's going to go very, very well. And, I think, what could go wrong? You'll be fine. Otherwise, we'll have a great story for next week. So take plenty of photos, and for the week after, I should say. And we will share that with our listeners. And, I don't know if they give you a parachute. Do you have to wear a parachute? What happens if it goes to shit, Donnie? Do you just grab a pack and jump out, or like part of the safety briefing?
I'll be staying in there and just bracing myself and holding buff and going, here we go, mate. So strap yourself in. No, we'll be right. It'll be bloody great. I like the darts off the flame up there. I don't smoke.
It is going to be fantastic, I am sure. So, all right, now local shout out. Now, Donny, you and I, well, particularly me, we're the first to sink the boot into some just shit stuff that happens, right, in this world. And Melbourne, mate, Melbourne has just become, we're just a bit shit, right? There's a lot of traffic. It's hard to get from A to B. Bloody roadworks seem to be going on forever, mate. There's a lot of things that just seem to be pretty shit. But I've got to say, Donny, shout out where credit is due, because I had the good privilege of going to the Grand Prix over the weekend and took the lovely Nan. And, mate, we had a cracking day. And I've got to say how proud you are as a Melburnian when you're going, how good is this? We have got the eyes of the world on our bloody great city. And it was cracking weather. Absolute ripper day. We had record crowds right throughout the Grand Prix. I think it was over 400,000 people went to the Grand Prix. And even better, Max Verstappen went out in about 2 laps into the race. So we actually got someone to win different for once. So, yeah, I thought, mate, bloody good. And, you know, normally when you go... Now, we went on the Friday, I think it was. And... you know, record crowd on the Friday as well. But normally it's like, still shit queues everywhere you go and blah, blah, blah. But, mate, honestly, dream. Just, you know, it was easy to get, buy a couple of drinks. It was easy to get food. There was toilets everywhere. So as much as we always like to whinge about things sometimes, also have to go, you know what? Every now and then we actually do things pretty bloody well. And I think anyone that sort of came along to the Grand Prix, except trying to get home, because I heard from all reports it's still a shit show when you're trying to leave at the same time as everyone else. But yeah, let us know if anyone else went to the Grand Prix. What did you think? Whack it into the comments below. Now, Donny, it wasn't quite the same as driving in the Celebrity Grand Prix race. I've heard a lot of stories about the Celebrity Grand Prix race, some that we won't repeat on air. And I think I told you, this was years ago. I was driving? I was driving in the country somewhere, and I randomly had on Triple M. And they had one of the footy players just come on, and he just starts randomly talking about the Grand Prix. And guess who he mentioned, Donny?
Nathan Buckley.
Yeah, no, Donny Elgin was the person he mentioned, Don, because he was also in the Celebrity Grand Prix race. And do you recall maybe what he might have been talking about?
I would have been pretty happy with my driving skills, and pretty sure it might have been Luke Darcy. And the fact that Darcy can't drive, and he drove in front of me, and I thought I got an option, go around or give him a little love tap. And I went with option B, mate. And poor old Darcy clipped it into the wall. We finished under a yellow flag. And well, he still hasn't spoke to me since then. He did write a nice little message on my race suit, and it started with "F you, Don." So yeah, you work out what that was. But no, he's a good bloke. He just can't drive for shit. So anyway.
Jeez. And I was going to say, he said such actually genuinely wonderful things about you. But after that, Donny, he's going to bat one back, I'm sure. So Darcy, if you're listening, you have a right of reply, my friend. All right, now, Donny, we do have some trivia questions. I got stumped everyone last week. Only 2 people, Donny, got the right answer.
Yes.
Bloody tough one.
Speaking of that, they did get JT. I'm becoming a bit of a serial pest with Australia Post, I'm led to believe, because there is the traditional name on the envelopes. And I mentioned last week that Swifty, my little mate from school, and little being the key word, I'm actually not really familiar with all the traditional names in Australia, the Indigenous names. So I may have just taken a poetic license and created my own. And anyway, she's a tiny bit frustrated with me again this week for referencing that little Abby may have been taller than her mum when she was 6. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is that the wheel is where it's at. So tonight, JT, your questions, we need more than 2 people on the wheel. So I'm banking on you having a tough one. Not a bloody silkworm question.
It's not maybe not as tough as last week, but I'm going to give you a bit of a hint. It's a ship theme, given the big news story of the week is related to a ship. So it is a ship trivia question. So we will just see when that comes up. Now, Donny,
spell that, JT?
Yeah, it ends with a P for Papa.
Right.
Yeah.
Because people said last week's was also a ship
episode. Yeah. Very, very, very true. Oh my God. Now we did get a bit of a heads up last week from Abby around a nomination for Hero of the Week, and I think it's a bloody good time to crack that one out, Donnie.
Let's do it.
Now, there's a lot of great people over this magnificent country of ours, Donnie, and they often do some really good things. They often do some really stupid things. We bring both of those to you. But this episode is about our hero of the week. And, Warren Acott, Donnie, is doing something pretty damn amazing. No doubt you've done some...
He's done it.
Well, he's done it. And some extensive research, Donnie, that I'm sure you have done.
I did do some research, JT. Now, Wazza, as he's known to his mates, is a former truckie, and at Tulane, I forget the name, I think it's Tulane, just out 180 k's out of Melbourne, decided that, the poor bastard has got MND, right? And when you meet anyone with MND, I have over my time, and I go to, every year, we go to a ball, it's usually at the Pullmans, and we raise some money, and it's a really, really valuable thing. We've been doing it for about 15 years now. So Louise Mogg and a whole group put this on. Before it was known as the Beast, before there was really any focus on it at all. But the truth is, MND still relatively an unknown disease. And what it does is it affects the motor neurone patterns in your body and effectively shuts you down. They close, and eventually your muscles deteriorate. You're not able to use your hands. Usually the first identification of it is slurred words and lack of strength, so people dropping things, and then they go and get some tests. There's still not one test that says whether you've got it or not. And the main reason was decided to get on his bloody lawnmower, which is a credible thing. He's ride on mower and ride all the way to Canberra, 800 k's, was to say, we need to put this on the national focus. It needs to be a notifiable disease, in which case it'll generate more research. It'll be on the profile of diseases, and money will go into researching to try and find out what it is. The staggering thing, JT, and this is a really sad stat, is it's often a hereditary thing. So when somebody in the family has it, usually it's a massive shockwave for the rest of the family, because they're going to live with the potential fact that that may well be them. But it's not a guarantee. There's no guarantee that that's how it goes. Sadly, 2 people every day are diagnosed with MND, and even more sadly, 2 people every day die with MND. So it is a horrific thing, and it sneaks up on people, and people don't know much about it until the time they get the diagnosis. Then they learn the cruel fact that most people will have a lifespan of about 2 to 3 years after they've got that diagnosis. So it's a bloody sad thing. We want to bring attention to it. We absolutely want to bring more attention to Wazza and the great plight that he had. And I've known some fantastic people that unfortunately have passed away, and also just seen what they've done in their time. Because the reality is, when someone's diagnosed with MND, it's right now, it's bad luck for them. Their time is numbered. But what all of them tend to do is say, well, it's not about me, I'm screwed, just like Wazza did. How can I make sure that we share the love and we try and get some funding so that in the future the same thing doesn't happen? So we had a chat with Elbo, the Prime Minister, and from all accounts it was very, very emotional up there in Canberra, and hopefully it takes another step in the right direction.
Well said, Donnie. I'm still scratching my head that Don Elgin is actually... Who are you tonight? Mate, research? This is facts? This is like... What is going on?
I've been busier than a bloody one-legged man in a butt-kicking competition, but I needed to get this, because the important shit needs our focus. I mean, we've got a platform. We're very fortunate to share, and we take the piss and we get stuck in, but... Also, too, I know that us having the conversation today is hopefully going to prompt somebody else to put their hand in their pocket, to do some research, to do whatever else. So good luck for anybody involved in making a positive difference.
No, well said, Donnie, and definitely a worthy winner of the Giddy Up Hero of the Week. We will thank Abby. Thanks, Abby. Sorry for sending through the link. We will pop that on the feed later on. So if you do want to sign the petition to get it recognised, you will get the opportunity on the link. Great job. Definitely a worthy hero for this week. All right, Donnie, on to our next episode. Now, to give everyone, we want to make sure that you make lots of money in this life. And we've been very, very lucky and fortunate to have someone that drops in every week and just spends a minute of his time to give everyone some great tips. And this week's tip is for anyone that's looking to buy a home, whether it's a first home buyer or you're looking for an investment property, and it answers a common question. A lot of people have a lot of questions around, do I buy a house or do I buy an apartment or a unit? So the Money Whisperer has given us his thoughts. So we'll see you on the back of the Money Whisperer episode. Back soon.
G'day guys, it's a Money Whisperer here. I often get asked what's a better investment, a house or a unit? And I consider your home an investment as well. In my opinion, it's all about the value of the land content of the property you're buying. And I always want that to be a minimum of 70%. So if you're buying a property for $600,000, I want the value of the land to be at least $420,000. The building and whatever else comes with the property can make up the rest of it, but I want the land component to be worth at least 70% because that's what appreciates in value. Over the next 100 years, they're going to build plenty of new properties, but it's going to be very hard to create any more land. So that's where the scarcity is, and that's where you get your appreciation. People talk about first home buyers and just wanting to get in the market, but in my opinion, that's the most important purchase you make in your life because that's the springboard into your next property upgrade, to be able to buy an investment property, to get some equity out, to do some other things in your life. So it's worth sacrificing the quality of the actual building to get a property with a great land component value. So if you're a first home buyer or you know someone who's about to become one, it's really important to stress the value of the land component in terms of a percentage of the total property purchase price. So that can be a house or a unit or a townhouse, etc., but it's much more likely to be a house. But if you can buy a townhouse in a good suburb, might be a block of 6 or 8 in a good suburb, there will still be some significant land content value as part of that townhouse that you have bought because of the suburb that it's in and the amount of land that you get with that townhouse. Good luck.
He's done it again, Donnie.
I tell you what, it's stuff like that unless somebody like the Money Whisperer comes in, because everyone's got some advice around, buy this, it's going to be a booming suburb, and you only have to look at realestate.com buddy once or twice or 17 times a week to be told where the next big thing's going to come from, or some entrepreneur's going to spin some shit for you, or maybe tell you the truth. But what I love about the Money Whisperer is it gives us context as to why things are worth money. So I like it. I'm still waiting for his bloody Westpac shares to get that secret nod and go through the roof. Just a heads up, Whisperer, we're waiting for that. Seriously, I like it. The value of the land. They're not building more land, they're building more property. So get the land value. Well played.
Mate, it's great advice. I actually really enjoyed that one. He always comes on and gives us some great tips. And of course, he did give us some tips on crypto a few weeks back. And got to tell you, the market had a nice little dip, a good buying opportunity, but it is back. And the Bitcoin halving, for those of you into crypto, is literally just a few weeks away. Why is that important, people? Because the Bitcoin halving historically has been the trigger of the bull run for crypto. So about every 4 years, crypto goes absolutely ballistic. And, you are literally talking 10, 20, 50 times the investment amount you put in. Not financial advice, don't follow me, what I do, because I'll probably lose it all. But every 4 years is when it goes nuts, and that is about to get started again in about the next 3-4 weeks. So if you are looking to get into crypto, you've probably got a very limited time to get some good deals before things go a bit crazy.
Now, JT, I just a couple of words you said there for the novice out there. That you mentioned bull run. I'm suggesting that that's a really positive thing, and bear run is a really shit thing. That's where you lose all your cash. So, how do you know bull and bear? Like, do they ever come together? What's the story?
Yeah, good question. And well, I don't want to cut the Money Whisperers lunch here whatsoever. But yeah, the bull run is literally, that's the exciting time to be alive if you've got an investment. But it's the worst time to buy because it's when prices go really high. So what people do in crypto is they buy during the bear market, and the bears are growling. It means no one's making money. And quite literally, coins drop to about 90% of their value. They drop 90%. So if you had a coin that was worth $100, during the bear market, that coin would be worth about $10. So if you bought it at $100 and going, oh, crypto's going amazing, I'm going to buy, everyone's buying, it's exciting, and you buy in that bull market, when the bear market kicks in, gonski, you've just lost $90 out of your 100. So the time to be buying is in the bear market when the coins are $10, and then it goes a bit crazy. So we've traditionally with crypto, it's been running now for 15, 20 years. When Bitcoin started, every 4 years roughly is when we have the bull market. That's the crazy time, and then you get about 3 years of bear market. So it's been a pretty lean few years, and let's hope for everyone who's got their money invested or about to invest the money, it's going to be a good 12 months.
Giddy up. If not, we've got my vodka, and that will get you through any bear market. Speaking of that, JT,
certainly
how
will.
do we get it? Let's get them on the wheel.
Oh,
mate.
well, they've just got to get on the wheel. All they've got to do is give us a right answer, Donnie. It's as simple as that. Now, I did say it is a bit of a ship theme. Now, for anyone who knows a little bit about me, you might know I'm a little bit fascinated by the Titanic. Went and saw the exhibition over in Vegas, and I am going to see the one here in Melbourne as well. I'll be interested if anyone else has gone to see the one in Melbourne yet, because I've heard good things. And I also have a big Lego ship that people have said took me ages to build. So yeah, love my Titanic. So the question is a Titanic related question, and Craig, good advice. Don't put any money into crypto that you aren't prepared to lose. It's just as good as gambling. So
We're also getting financial advice from our viewers. I love it. Thank you.
mate, love it. So anyway, trivia question for tonight. Get ready, and it is, as I said, Titanic related. All you got to do, put your answers in A, B, C, or D. You got 30 seconds. Once it cuts off, you are out. Here we go. Question for tonight to win a fantastic bottle of Spank vodka. Here we go. In what year was the Titanic discovered? Was it in 1947, 1968, 1976, or 1985? In what year was the Titanic discovered? A for 1947, B for 1968, C for 1976, and D for 1985. You've got about 10 seconds left to get your your question and answers in, and then it'll be locked. Good luck. A, B, C, or D.
That's a tough one. I don't know it, but it looks like a few people do, my friend. That wheel's going to be going.
We've got a few right answers there. Congratulations to everyone who said a D. It was actually discovered September 1 in 1985, which is quite incredible given it sunk in 1912. It took them that long to find it. And maybe one day I will share with the listeners the quite fascinating story about how they actually ended up discovering it. It was actually quite an amazing story. So I will share that with our listeners in another episode. Donnie.
Mate, that is very, very impressive. I know that you're going to get very, very busy with the wheel now because there's a lot of smart people in our group. And it is wonderful. JT, I need to just remind our listeners of a couple of things. One is the value, JT, while you're doing the wheel, I want to remind people the value and the power in conversation. And the reason I'm putting this up here, JT, is a discussion topic. One, so you can do the wheel, but two is because this is what we said when we had our first meeting all those years ago and said, what are we actually going to bloody talk about in our podcast, And then we both agreed that the conversation that we want to have is the conversation that encourages conversations. And doesn't matter where it goes in terms of if you're not a racist because you want to talk about someone who's black, and you're not, homophobia if you ask some questions about someone who's gay or transgender or transvestite, or if you're just curious the power is in your hands to ask the questions and to have the conversation, because I've always been I've been a bit put off, and it's lovely to see, I told you I don't watch a lot of telly, but I do keep abreast of what's going on. Ellie Cole is a Paralympian. She's on the jungle. I'm a Celebrity, or whatever that's called. I'm pretty sure I'm a Celebrity. It's in a jungle. Ellie Cole, bloody champion swimmer, leg amputee. But what it does is it raises questions of like, wow, how'd she lose a leg? Or how does any amputee lose a leg? And what always worries me is when I'm with other amps and people respond in a way of not opening up. And I get it that not everyone's comfy with the conversation, but when you're a parent and you take your kids away from somebody who's a bit different, instead of maybe politely having a conversation with them, then it makes it difficult. And I know that we all, if we're lucky enough to live long enough, we'll go through different things. And one of them might be menopause. Women go through that. And, honestly, for most blokes, we don't know shit about it. But if we're fortunate enough to have a partner and they're going to experience these things, my advice is to have the conversations. Just be open and say, well, what do you go through? Is there anything I can do that makes that easier for you? And I think if you ask a question and you ask it with good intent, you can ask any question you like. If you ask it to be a smart ass, and trust me, I'm a speaker, I'm at a lot of events and I hear a lot of questions, then don't be surprised if you get a smart ass answer. But anybody with genuine curiosity, I'll tell you a little secret. If ever you're asked a question and you go, I don't know if I'm comfortable or want to answer that, then my response to that question is, what do you want to know? That will always put the pressure or the onus back on the person asking the question. If the answer is good, then go for it. So anyway, my advice is ask the question, have the conversation. Nothing's off limits. How'd you go with the wheel, JT?
Great advice, Donny, as per usual. Again, I'm still trying to work out who the hell has taken over your body today, but I'm loving it, Donny. I'm loving it. Whatever you had for breakfast this morning, mate, have more of that every day. This is gold. Yes, the wheel is loaded, mate. The wheel is loaded. We've got dad joke coming up as well. The wheel, a couple of other little bits and pieces, and a great final thought as well. I'm looking forward to this one tonight, Donny. The way you're on fire tonight,
JT,
so this is going to be big.
Tell you something that skipped us, right? Is before when you talked about the Grand Prix and how it was great, and you could get a drink here, and you had plenty of options, and there was toilets everywhere. I like how you put toilets everywhere like it was an important thing. Like we saw a photo of you at the start of the podcast. You'll just piss yourself in public and it doesn't matter. So don't go me about fancy having toilets everywhere.
It's a good pickup, Donny. Very good pickup. All right, so I suppose we're going to get into this dad joke. I've got to find it first.
Yeah, what do you got, mate? Let's get the dad jokes. They're always a
mate,
crowd.
I was going to say I was going to say it's really funny, but.
There was some feedback too that last week's joke wasn't that funny, and it was maybe the one that I passed on to you.
What do you mean? Hey, that's right. You gave it to me. I will take no responsibility for that, like most things. All right, so I'm going to get into dad joke. Bear with me while I get all this stuff ready. Here we go. Boom. No, it sounded good. No, it didn't quite go to plan.
Dad joke of the week.
How's this one? There we go. We're going to go with this, Donny. All right. Now, it's not a long one. It's, some of these, they go on a little while. This is not one of those, Donny. In fact, it's... And to be honest, it actually just reminded me of something that that one of your favourite sayings is. It just reminded me of that, which is why I'm sort of going with this one, Donny. So I built that up enough and tried to stall it while I freaking try and find it on the screen because I just had it and it's gone. Where did it go? There it is. All right. Okay. So, Donny, two campers are walking through the woods when a huge brown bear suddenly appears in the clearing about 50 metres in front of them. Now, if it was my beautiful partner, Nat, she would be wanting to go and run up and hug the bear, but of course, that's probably not going to end well. And the bear sees these campers and it begins to head towards them. And the first guy just drops his backpack, digs out a pair of sneakers, and frantically starts to, put him on his bloody feet. And the second guy says, mate, what are you doing? Sneakers aren't going to help you outrun that bloody bear. He goes, mate, I don't need to outrun the bear. He goes, I just need to outrun you. It's an oldie but a goodie, Donny.
I like it, mate. I like it. Yes, that's good. Well, that doesn't matter what I think. What do the people think? Do you like that? Do we go with that thing next time? Did he nail it? The dad joke. Did JT nail it? That's the question.
Oh, yeah, come on, feedback.
I liked it anyway.
Thanks, Donny. Thanks. Because it reminded me of your saying, Donny, though. Because what's one of your favourite sayings?
Oh, I've got one. If you can't win, make the person in front break the record.
There you go. That's the one. That's what it reminded me of.
Oh, no, fair enough.
All right. There we go. Thanks, Abby. Better than last week's. Well, of course. It wasn't hard to beat, really, was it?
Tell you what. Right, yeah, okay. Enough said already.
Just saying, Craig's a bit 50-50, but I'll take it. I'm bloody desperate. I'll take it. All right, Donny, what else have we got? Wheel? Have we got the wheel?
We've got the big wheel, mate.
Are we ready?
We've kept the people waiting long enough there. Now, the reason we want it up now is because this is the challenge for you, is to get it on the right screen. We know you've plugged it all in.
This
and
is...
we see it this week.
Donny, watch this.
Holy you've done it.
How good is this? This is a new view. You, me, big wheel, names loaded, job done.
That is very impressive. Some fine winners on there, some past winners, some new people. I tell you what, JT, this will be a very fine drop. Now, just so that you know, it's a little 375 or 379 or whatever is in that little bottle of Spank vodka. It's made with blood, sweat, and tears. There's no blood, sweat, or tears in the vodka, and it is and there's plenty of flavours. So the winner will reach out to me. They'll let me know what your favourite flavour is via the messenger or whatever on Facebook, and we'll make sure that we get that to you. So last week's there's been a couple go up north, and I think there was a lime and a watermelon. And JT, one of our previous winners, Dodgy Bill, went for one of the new flavours, and it's honey. So anyway, some
honey.
Lovely flavours.
Okay.
Spin the sucker.
All right. Good luck to everyone. The wheel goes no. And now. And now. There we go.
It's better than the dad joke. Right, here we go. Good luck.
Well, could be Janine. Is it going to stop? The audio is a bit delayed. It is Janine.
Janine. Well,
that's
a surprise. I don't know if you typed the name in right, JT, but...
What do you mean?
Janine D. Well, I don't know what Janine D. I'm
What do you...
on there.
Did I not get a Janine D?
No, we better go back through the... Anyway, it doesn't...
Oh, sorry. No, sorry. It was Janine A. Sorry, it was Janine A. I just put in D for the answer. Sorry. My bad. Can't do two things at once, clearly, right? So...
it's overrated anyway, multitasking, JT. You do a good job of it, by the way. You do a real bloody good job of hosting this and handling my crap. So, good job.
Well done, Janine. Fantastic win. And, yes, so she's getting quite a collection now. Just, is it too early to start taking... Too early to start taking bribes so I can rig this wheel a bit, or what? Is it?
No, it's never too early for bribes.
Okay.
It's never too early for a drink on holidays. It's never too early for... Anyway, never too early for bribes. We're good.
Very, very true. Now, just a couple of community announcements, Donny, for everyone. You did mention them at the start of the show. One is daylight savings is going to be all over pretty soon.
Yep, next week, and for most of us, we don't have to do shit about that because it just happens. Like the clocks automatically update and stuff, unless you've got one on the wall or, the old, you're not connected to the internet. But the thing I like about it, JT, is nature tells us what's happening. Have you noticed how bloody dark it is recently when you just wake up and all of a sudden shit's dark? It does get it ordinary, wake up when it's dark and go on.
Sucks a little bit, I've got to say. But and obviously Easter coming up, Donny. So long weekend for a lot of people. School holidays starting. Lots happening.
Yeah, be safe. Please be safe. We want you all back. That's the key. I know, yes, there's blitz and the police do their thing and double merit your points and all that sort of shit. But $200, JT, just for those that are following along. A couple of weeks back, I copped a fine in WA. I said, yep, no worries. Thank you very much.
Pricks.
I wasn't grateful, but anyway, I was the fact that it was 400 down to 2. But the question was, do you lose your demerit points if you get a fine in another state? The short answer is yes.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, 2 points, JT. But anyway, I deserved it, so cop me whack, get on with it.
Yep, thanks, Donna, correcting me. It is only holidays in Victoria. I think the other states coming online week after. I don't know. Who knows? I only worry about my kids. And even then, I don't know half the time they're on holidays. So, awesome.
You were gonna say even then you don't know half your kids. I mean, I've got 4. It's fair for me to say that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know mine too. All right, so Donnie, every week, and as I said, I'm really looking forward to your what do we call it? That thing at the end.
Oh, the
Final thought. Yeah, because mate, you've been on tonight. You've been bloody on, so I am absolutely looking forward for an absolute cracker. So Donnie, over to you for the final thought.
JT, I'm often said that I'm very positive, and the truth is it's not a silver bullet. Being positive is having hope and confidence in one's ability to handle what's tough, along with remembering that nothing is always negative. If we continue to look, we'll always find a silver lining in any situation. We have the power to change our mindset at any moment in time. You have the power.
Boom, there is. Donnie has delivered yet again. So, well, we've crammed a lot into this show. We feel like we could always crap on for ages, but we won't. So, again, just a reminder, we are not on next week. So, we will be away for next week, but we'll put up the next date in our page. As per usual, guys, please just, comment, share, feed, etc. We'd love to get some more people to come along and enjoy the show. And, you guys have been awesome to stick with us. So we love having you guys here every week. Literally does keep us going because, quite frankly, I think both Don and I'd struggle if no one was watching. So it's always nice to know that people actually do tune in and enjoy the show. Donnie, as per usual, I'm going to hand over to you as soon as I can find this bloody screen. There it is, somewhere in there.
15th, JT, the New South Wales kids have a holiday, the 15th.
Yeah, 15th. Yeah, let's move that over there.
To go, guys, I'll get that. That's little Swifty. I can't wait to write your envelope. How are we going for time?
No, we've got plenty of time, mate. Plenty of time.
I've got to nail the GiddyUp at the end of every session. And honestly, the timing's not always bang on. So we'll see how we go. Thanks, Kim. Have a great Easter, guys. It's bloody good to see you all. Take care and GiddyUp.
And, well, just a final thought before we go. As the comments are coming through, let's just hope that in 2 weeks' time, Donnie will have a working microphone. We don't ask for much here, but I don't know.
I will get it sorted, guys. Thank you for the heads up.
Too funny. All right, thank you, everyone, and on behalf of both Donnie and myself, have a wonderful Easter. Please be safe, and we look forward to seeing you all in a couple of weeks. Bye for now. Bye, everyone. See ya.
They're giving it to me tonight, the Mongols.
Rightly so.